Alright, I'm going to show you how to sand primer to get it ready for your final top coat. It's important that this is sanded nice and flat, and that all the orange peel or little nibs in the paint get taken out, so that when we spray our top coat, everything will be like glass when it's done. Like a nice smooth finish. Because the top coat doesn't hide imperfections, it doesn't build up. It's going to simply follow whatever your primer is like. So this is your foundation. This has got 2 coats of primer. And to sand this flat, first of all I'm going to use my inspection light. This is Festool's inspection light. As soon as I turn this light on, shining across this horizontally, I see stuff I wouldn't see by eye normally. And the reason I like to do it this way is I like to get this door as flat as I can with the light, because sometimes what happens is when a cabinet's hanging on the wall and there's like lights right above it, like these recessed lights in the ceiling, and they're shining right down across your cabinet door, you're going to see things that you didn't see in the shop. So by using an inspection light, getting it as good as you can with the light, you know that in the kitchen, once your doors are all up, that everything's going to be good, because you're not going to see just by eye what you see with a light. But like I said, the canister lights sometimes will highlight things. So a couple things I want to do here. I'm going to be using my Festool, the Festool sander, which I like. Going to be putting this backer pad. This one's probably, is this the 10mm pad? I put that on here, and then I use the green film abrasive, and I'm going to use a 320 grit. So to get it ready for the top coat, you don't want to go anything under 320 grit. But this green abrasive paper is what's going to flatten the primer. We have to be a little careful though, because we've got edges and we don't want to burn through the edges. So I'm going to take my sander and put a little bit more pressure on the front and try to catch the center. If we just go here, it's going to kind of wrap around these corners. It's going to take off paint, and we don't want to do that. So here's how I'm going to do this. My panel in the center. Now I'm going to try to avoid just doing, cutting into the edges like this or digging into it like this. I'm going to kind of keep overlapping myself like this. That way you don't have any deep marks cut in by your sandpaper. I might even go this way a little bit, come into the corners a little bit, putting a little bit of pressure in that front corner. And just kind of feather this all in nicely. Alright, now I'm going to take a 10mm pad. This is the very fine pad, not the really squishy ones. This is the little stiffer one. So it's the 10mm very fine. And basically what this is going to do is take out any marks that this paper may have left. So sometimes if a little bit of gunk builds up on here, it might tend to leave some swirl marks. If you have a good primer that sands out, powders up nicely, you might not have a problem with swirl marks. I don't really see any, but just for good measure, I'm going to go over this pretty quickly with this one. Kind of doing the same thing. Couple passes on each rail is good. A little bit in here. Again, kind of feathering all my passes together. Now I could either do that same pad in here on these inside edges and the outside edges, but I prefer to do those by hand because I really don't want to burn through my primer more than I have to. I'm using Mirka's 320 Goldflex, I think it's called. Surfprep also makes a nice pad like this. The 320s are really nice for doing contours. So what I'll do is actually just tear a little piece off like this. Maybe you can cut this in half. And this works really nice just to get in here like this. I'm really not trying to sand much here, just doing a quick little scuff. And this little Mirka paper is really nice and sharp. That all powdered up already. I'll take my little bigger one. I'll just very lightly, very light pressure hit that little round over, and then I'll hit my edge here. I try not to burn around the corners. So I almost putting like almost no pressure on this. My sandpaper is just kind of riding on there. Same way here. Just a little bit of fingertip pressure on this edge. And that's it. That's how you sand primer on cabinet doors for top coat. Of course, before you spray this, you're going to blow this off, get any dust, especially out of here. The one last thing I like to do is I just like to take my little pick and just make sure there's no nibs in here. This one, just by looking at it, looks good, but there is an edge here that's pretty tight. So I'll just run this right along here a couple times and just make sure there's no paint stuck in there or anything stuck in there. And then before I spray this, I will blow this out very well. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see me do more with these doors, more painting, cabinetry, subscribe to the channel, and please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.